Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the HippoKeys unicorn linear switches that were sent over to me by HippoKeys themselves. So they actually sent me a little mini care package that included a sample pack of 5 unicorn linear switches, some candy, a switch puller, and a very nice sticker. So when it comes to these switches, they are a linear switch, they are 5-pin and manufactured by Gateron. The spring they are using in this switch is an 18mm 2-stage spring with an operating force of 50 grams and a bottom out force of 63 grams. The stem is made out of palm, the top housing is transparent polycarbonate, and the bottom housing is nylon. These also do come lightly pre-lubed from the factory. When it comes to the sound profile, I'm not too sure where these sort of line up on. I can't really tell if it's on the deeper end or the clackier end, and you'll be able to see in the sound test here in a little bit. But when it comes to the spring, I noticed that even though these are lightly lubed, when you bottom out on this switch, when the switch is not inside the keyboard, you can hear a little bit of spring ping from this switch. I'm not too sure if it's because of how long the spring is or because of its 2-stage or they just didn't put enough lube on it, but it's something to keep in mind. So here's a quick sound test. So yeah, when it comes to how these sound, I think they do sound pretty good. I don't really have any complaints with the sound profile. I just wish that spring ping was not there, because with the spring ping being there, it makes these not usable right out the box in my opinion. When it comes to the feeling of the switch, I think this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. So since I only had 5 switches, I of course couldn't do a full-on typing test, so I did the next best thing, and that is play rhythm games with the switches. But the thing I noticed almost instantly is the difference from the operating force to the bottom mouse force. So you can definitely feel the difference when playing rhythm games, because I obviously am not paying attention to how hard I'm pressing on the keys, because I just want to hit the notes that are coming up on my screen. So I'm not really focused on how hard I'm hitting, and I ended up being a little bit more fatigued than I'm used to, because of that bottom out force going from 50 grams all the way to 63 grams, which is around a 13 gram difference, which is pretty big in my opinion. And another thing I noticed is it does feel a little bit sluggish when just using the switches overall. And that might be because of the fact that the spring is 18mm. Now, I don't think it's because it's a 2-stage spring, because usually having a 2-stage spring makes the switches feel snappier. But in this sense, it does not feel snappier at all. So I'm not too sure why it feels so sluggish, but I did think that it was very important to bring that up, that these switches do feel a little bit sluggish, and that could also be because of the big weight difference from operating force to bottom out force. Now, this is obviously something that, you may like more than I will, and that's perfectly fine. I think these switches still feel good, but I don't know if I'd use them on a day-to-day basis, because I'm not a big fan of the difference between the operating and bottom out force. I'm fine with like a 5 gram difference like on Aqua switches, but having a 13 gram difference is a bit too much. But again, this is just personal preference. Overall, I think these switches are pretty decent. I don't think they're amazing, but I don't think they're horrible either. I think they have a particular crowd that would very much enjoy these. I wish there was no spring ping, and I wish that the force difference was a little bit smaller. But other than that, I did really enjoy them. Let me know what you guys think about these switches in the comments down below. And if you did want to pre-order them, I'll be leaving a link in the description below for you to do so. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.